before I start this video, please do leave a like, please comment how your week's been, and if you use best offer as well, and please subscribe for these regular videos as well. Good afternoon everybody, it's a Sunday today, bank holiday weekend, and I thought I'd discuss whether or not you should be using best offer on your listings, as well as showing you some of the things that have sold this week. It's been a relatively slow few weeks on eBay. It started to pick up this past week, but we definitely have noticed a bit of a slowdown last month in April. March was really good for us. April was a little bit slower than normal, but now coming into May, it started to pick back up again. So should you be using best offer on your listings? I'll show you what that looks like. Essentially, you're going to put an item up for sale on eBay, and you're going to have the option whether or not to accept a buyer's best offer or not. This is quite a controversial one in terms of people that use it and people that don't use it. I've been through both ends of the spectrum with it in terms of using it and not using it. Quite recently I've switched it back on. My overall opinion on it is yes, you should be using it, but have a bottom level in terms of what you will take as an offer if you get one through that's going to meet your profit margins, with taking into consideration your cost of goods and what you actually want to profit per item at the end of the sale. So that includes postage, eBay fees, eBay VAT, and your cost of goods as well, and any packaging items that you're going to have to use to send it, poly bags, bubble wrap, whatever that may be, and then of course the final value fee as well. So if you don't know how to check that, there's lots of eBay calculators that you can use online to check if your item sells for £20 and you bought it for £3, what's your overall profit going to be at the end. And each category on eBay has a different fee for it. Clothing, I think it's 11.9%, but using those eBay fee calculators is really handy to know what you're going to pay for an item and know if it sells for a certain price what you're going to profit at the end of it. So definitely bear that in mind. Don't just think because you pay £5 for something and sell it for 20 on eBay you're going to profit £15. Unfortunately it doesn't work like that. I wish it did. There are other platforms that do follow that sort of business model. If you're a private seller, not a business seller, things like Vinted, Depop have now changed their policies where you'll pay a very small fee, and eBay of course now have introduced no fees for private sellers for clothing only. So lots of things changing, but just make sure you're on top of it and that you know what you're going to pay for an item, and then at the end of it what you're going to sell it for, what your total profit is going to be. So in a nutshell, yes, I would say you should be using best offer, but have a bottom level that you won't go below, or if it's old stock and you really need to clear it, then you might take a little bit less of profit on the item in the interest of getting it shifted, getting your investment back, getting some profit so you can reinvest. So also we'll show you some things that have sold this week. As I mentioned, it's been a bit slower on eBay recently. It's the nature of eBay, but the best thing to do is just make sure that you're consistently listing, you're using the sell similar, and you're making sure you're active on eBay, tweaking any little things that need to be tweaked in terms of product descriptions or item specifications, anything like that. But the first one that sold was a Puma T-shirt. Had this forever and a day from Pre-Love Kilo 20 kilo box. Sold for £7.98 all in. One of those ones that I've had it sticking about for ages. Cost of goods was probably £3 or £4, so I probably made my money back on it. I don't really touch T-shirts, but this came in a eBay box or a Depop box. So if you are going to be ordering from wholesalers, one thing I would recommend is know what you're buying. I've recently ordered some Wrangler Jeans grade A. I know what I'm buying. It's not going to be a box of anything and everything. There are some wholesalers that are reputable enough that you can buy that from them. Boom Wholesale is one of them. But if you're buying from any old wholesaler, especially if you're trying them out, make sure you know what you're buying. The second item was the low Alpine jacket that we picked up in one of the previous videos. I think we paid £8 for it. That sold for £51.98 all in. Something to note as well, those two items that we've just discussed had best offer on them. Both buyers chose to pay full price, so you will still get people pay the asking price for it, but you may get people offering you money for your items as well. But this was a really, really nice jacket, size large, good size, good condition. So yeah, good strong seller. Next was a pair of Wrangler Arizona stretch jeans. I think we paid £2 or £3 for these in a charity shop. £31.98 all in. Some Wrangler stuff sells really well, some's run-of-the-mill £20 stuff. Some sells for £30–35. Every Wrangler jean type is different. So it's something to note for if you are buying wholesale or if you're picking them up at the charity shops, car boot, wherever it may be. But I think we paid £2 or £3 from, as I said, £31.98 all in. That's a really strong margin. I've recently ordered some wholesale Wrangler and Lee jeans. I think cost of goods is about £4.60 per piece. And I have actually ordered some from Vintage Wholesale Supply as well. Something to note, if you are going to be ordering from them, it will say they've got their items in stock. They haven't got them in stock. It's all pre-ordered. So I'm in the process of trying to cancel that order and place it with another wholesaler. I think they might be a subsidiary of Syad or something like that. Something's not quite right with it, but I've ordered some stuff. It didn't turn up in a couple of weeks, so I emailed and they said it's on pre-order. It was listed as in stock and on sale on clearance, so something's not quite right there. But we cancelled that one, or we're trying to cancel that one. But yeah, Lee and Wrangler jeans, really great sellers, in my opinion, really slept on. But that was a good sale. The next one was a Hugo Boss Polo shirt. We picked this up in the charity shops, as you might have seen in one of the previous videos, for £2. It had some wear throughout, only light wear, but it went for £21.98 all in, so still £10 profit, clear profit per item, a bit more on that one. Hugo Boss is one of those brands where some sells well, some doesn't really, and the prices are all over the place on eBay. So Hugo Boss, I don't pick up a lot of it, but when it sells, it does sell for decent money. Next is some Ted Baker trousers. I think I paid £1 for these in one of the charity shops, because I sort of looked on the solds and I saw they were kind of like £15. I thought, I'll pay £1 and I'll get £10 profit per item when you factor in all the fees and things like that. And then upon bringing them home and looking at them a little bit more, they sort of range for 20 to 25. So we let these go at £18.99. This was on the best offer, £15 plus postage. But we paid £1 for them. If I paid £2–3 for them, probably wouldn't have let them go for that. Would have been a little bit more, but we paid £1 for them, so we let them go for £18.99 all in. And lastly was some Lee jeans. These were Brooklyn Lee jeans. I think we paid £3 for these in the Bernardos. Sold for £19.99, including postage. So as a general rule of thumb, if you're paying £3 for something and it's selling for £20, when you take into consideration postage, like I said, VAT, final value fees, and your cost of goods, that will net you £10 clear profit per item. I think it's slightly more than £10, but a great rule of thumb when you're in the charity shops, a lot of things are priced at £3. So if you know you can do 3 into 20, business model is £10 clear profit per item. It will satisfy that business model. So not too many items this week, sort of 6, 5, 6, 7 I think we had going out, but we had a couple of big ones in there, so it kind of made up for it. I'll make a video on once we get the wholesale stock, the Lee Wrangler jeans, to have a look at the grade and see where we're at with that. But aside from that, thanks for watching.